Hello everyone, it's me, and today let's watch this video together. Let's go.
Matty Patty.
Yes, Papa.
www.theorycan.com.
Writing theories.
Yes, Papa.
Telling lies.
No, Papa.
That's weird. Fortnite.
This taste is the taste of a liar. Matty Patty.
MacPat's Bizarre Theory.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory. Hello.
Where even Speedwagon is afraid of today's episode because today we're covering Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Now,
Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Let's go.
in case you're not familiar with Jojo, it's a classic shonen battle series in the vein of Dragon Ball Z and My Hero Academia.
Really classic shonen.
Except, well, it's a bit more bizarre. Which is saying a lot since My
Bizarre.
Hero has a guy who shoots tape out of his elbows and Dragon Ball stars gorilla people from space. Anyway, to give you just the smallest taste of what this series is all about, the first main arc starts in the Victorian era where we follow Jonathan Joestar, a rich British martial artist who uses rhythmic breathing to channel the energy signature of the sun into his fists so he can explode punch vampires.
But in a more bizarre way. Get it? Bizarre Adventures?
Mind you, who can flash freeze anything they touch just by dropping their own body temperature because, you know, vampires can do that in this world. By part 3 of the series, it's almost a totally different show about people using psychic projections called stands to beat the tar out of other psychics. Sometimes psychic babies, psychic animals too, because it's anime! On the manga side, Jojo is one of the most successful series in history, with over 100 million copies in print.
Note that this video came out in the year 2019, so a lot more growth, a lot more improvements, a lot more betterment. Yes, it improved a lot.
And it's starting to really take off in the US, not only because it's just a really fun, off-the-wall show, but because it is a walking meme.
Road roller, roll the roller.
Yes, you saw that scene right. It's a man freezing time to drop a steamroller onto his opponent. But oh no, friends, that's not just any man. Now, for as much as I'd love to analyze how no one is able to deflect the emerald splash, because seriously, no one has ever been able to do it. No one.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, with the memes involved. Are you sure about that?
Today I have my sights set on a different moment. You see, each part of JJBA stars a new cast of characters, and today I want to cover a meme from its most
Alright, so you mentioned JJBA, Jojo's Bizarre Adventures.
recent anime season, covering one of the best arcs that the show has seen so far, Golden Wind, where the Jojo story moves away from vampires in Victorian England and instead moves to Italy to fight against some mob bosses. To set the stage, we meet Giorno Giovanna, a petty crook who's living in Italy and has hair that looks like a plate of pasta, specifically manicotti. When he accidentally kills a gangster named Leaky Eye Luca, who's leaning on him for some protection money, our hero ends up over his head. Riding the trolley later that day, he's confronted by Bruno, a mafia lieutenant in charge of investigating Luca's death. Bruno here has two pretty impressive abilities. First, he can create zippers on any surface in order to travel through space and tear objects apart. Oh yeah! And secondly, and more importantly for our purposes today, he has a remarkable sense of taste. That might not seem as impressive as interdimensional zippers, but just wait, it leads us to one of this show's most enduring memes. He claims to be able to tell whether or not Giorno is lying simply by licking his sweat.
この味は嘘をついてる味だぜ。
And in that one moment, the internet lost its collective minds. Licking politicians, licking animals, licking cake, since we all know the cake is a lie, licking Nintendo Switch cartridges, anything that Bruno could lick was licked. All of it to see who or what was lying to us. And all of that got me thinking, is Bruno's power possible? Is it possible to tell whether someone is lying simply by the flavor of their sweat?
You must recognize that this series have a very memeable, a lot of memeable moments.
And if so, what does a liar taste like? Strap in, theorists, because it's all on today's episode of Matt Pat's Bizarre Theory. To
That Pat's Bizarre Theory!
answer those questions, we first need to figure out what happens to our bodies when we lie. Lying actually takes a lot more effort than telling the truth. When you lie, you're not just recalling something that really happened to you, you're remembering that information, you're then concocting a believable alternative to it, and then you're making a conscious effort to sell that you're telling the truth. Concocting, tracking, and sustaining lies puts a lot of pressure on people, and
A lot of brain power involved.
generally speaking, that pressure results in stress. Now, when you experience stress, your brain releases 3 hormones: adrenaline, cortisol, and norepinephrine, which collectively cause various changes to happen in your body. Your heartbeat accelerates, your focus increases, your reflexes sharpen. All of it is to help you deal with whatever threat you might be dealing with in the moment. And yes, you are also gonna sweat here, but it's not sweat in the same way that you do when it's hot or when you're exerting yourself. That spike of adrenaline actually activates special sweat glands, your apocrine glands, which produce a special kind of sweat. A sweat that actually gets you to smell noticeably worse than your regular sweat. And so it would only make sense that sweat with a different smell would also come with a different taste.
Okay, if you're trying to say that is possible, but human beings, are we capable of recognizing such things with our nose? Sorry.
Right? Well, it's not quite that simple. Unlike the normal sweat produced by your eccrine glands, which is made up mostly of water and salt, this apocrine sweat is a milky-looking substance that's made up of proteins, cholesterol, and fat. All
Really like it that Manpat is being so educational and educating us about it. Thank you so much.
of which are food for the
I hope that you learned something from this video, which is very important about yourself. You are human, I'm a human.
bacteria on your skin. It's the bacteria on your skin consuming and digesting that sweat, which causes it to smell bad. The sweat itself, though, is actually odorless. And if you were to lick it up right when someone started to sweat it out, you wouldn't actually taste anything at all. So no, Bruno wouldn't taste anything particular in the sweat produced by Giorno as he's lying, but he would be able to notice the absence of normal sweat's salty flavor. Of course, this scene is also taking place on a balmy Italian summer's day, right after Giorno climbed a whole dang building, so unless those cable cars have amazing air conditioning, chances are that hormone sweat would be mixed in with a lot of regular old sweat, and it'd probably be hard to tell the difference. But even then, that diluted sweat mixture would be slightly less salty, and with a good enough sense of taste, Bruno would indeed probably be able to tell the difference.
Okay, it's not just smell, it's the taste as well.
Calling out Giorno
Wait, it's not just taste, the smell as well. Both.
correctly as the liar that he is. That said, there is another problem here. The apocrine glands are mainly concentrated in the armpits and in the, genital region. And Jojo, for whatever this show is not that sort of anime. So
Oh! Wow! Wow! Wow!
Bruno isn't exactly licking the right spots, if you get what I mean, to get into
Oh! Alright, let's pause there for a while first. Alright. All of you, please remember to breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Let's stay humble, let's be positive, wholesome, family friendly. Thank you so much. Let's continue.
the best results. Now, there are some apocrine glands that are located on the face, specifically on your eyelids and the wings of your nostrils, so some apocrine sweat might have made its way onto Giorno's cheek, and if Bruno really does have super sensitive taste buds, he could theoretically pick up on that. So while the show may be bizarre, the science, at least in this ridiculous scenario, actually holds up. You can, in fact, taste a liar. The taste of a liar, as it turns out, is salty, but not too salty, just like the perfect French fry. So, case closed, myth confirmed, we can all go home now, right? Wrong. Because, while the sweat the body produces while lying is different from the sweat produced in response to heat and exercise, it's identical to the sweat produced under literally any kind of stress. So, you'd find that same flavor on someone who's running late to an appointment, or waiting on potentially bad news from a doctor, or who's worried about an upcoming exam, or just pick a random example here, someone who's confronted with questions about a dead body by a violent mobster. That is going to be stressful regardless of whether you're the killer or not. So yeah, Bruno's lie detector test is going to be extremely vulnerable to false positives. He's going to be wrong a high percentage of the time, which seems like it should be a big deal when he's deciding whether or not to kill you in retribution for your crimes.
True, there is the false positive that we need to take into consideration as well.
But false positives happen all the time in real-world lie detection too, so Bruno's in good company. In real life, we may not be licking people during interrogations to see if they're lying, but we are doing something that's pretty darn similar. You see, the polygraph test, or lie detector test, works on similar properties to Bruno's taste test. While they don't measure the composition of sweat, they do measure factors like the amount of sweat, blood pressure, pulse, breathing, all to determine whether or not a subject is aroused when answering the question. Not that sort of arousal. Grow up. In essence,
Holy, oh my gosh, this episode is this. My goodness. Okay, MadPat, let's have a talk here. Alright, MadPat, are you alright? Are you doing good? Everything okay? Buddy, you're doing good? Are you having a great day? Awesome? Alright, let's continue. Keep this family friendly, keep this wholesome, and let's be welcoming and understanding toward everyone. Thank you.
the polygraph test looks for signs of stress in an examinee in order to determine whether they're stressed when answering questions, which in turn could lead to the conclusion that they're lying. And in order to mitigate the possibility that sources of stress other than lying will mess with the results, there are actually strict procedures that must be followed in administering these sorts of exams, requiring that the exam happen in environments free from distraction and at times when the examinee isn't going to be feeling excessive levels of emotion. And even then, even when all of those factors are at play, still polygraphs, according to the most favorable reports, are right maybe like 85% of the time. But don't get too excited, some say the accuracy is actually a whole lot lower. According to polygraph critic David Lycan, polygraph tests have a 65% chance of actually catching a liar, which is not a great accuracy rate. That is a low D on your report card. The National Research Council found no evidence of the polygraph's validity, and according to the Journal of Forensic Psychology Practice, 2/3 of the scientific community with the necessary experience to evaluate polygraph results actually considered the whole thing to be a glorified pseudoscience. So here we have Bruno licking faces once again, running his interrogation on a noisy, crowded trolley. That doesn't exactly meet the requirements for a sterile, distraction-free testing environment, and while some might disagree, I would argue that Giorno suddenly finding a dismembered human eyeball in his hand would qualify as an emotionally charged event that might prompt some stressful sweating, again, increasing the chance for a false positive even more. Long story short here, Bruno is working with fewer data points and is significantly biasing his own results with bad testing methodology.
So if that's the case, you don't have to go through all these hurdles, all these justifications, this righteousness to just say that you are a bad guy, I'm gonna kill you. You're a good guy, I'm gonna kill you. Either ways.
Real question we should be asking here isn't what does a liar taste like, it's more like how many innocent people has Bruno zipped in half as a result of bad interrogation techniques and shaky science. Someone do me a favor and drop a steamroller on that guy's head. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And...
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, and quite disturbing as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video together with me. I'm sorry. My deepest apologies. Please forgive me. I am sorry. Anyways, please remember to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share about us. Don't forget to follow my channel. Sincerely appreciate your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in my next video. But hey, that's just theory. A film theory. Thanks for watching. Thank you and cut. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.